My name is Daniel Rojas. I work for Universal Music Publishing in the Creative A&R Department.
Talk a little about your view on Spotify and what you think of it.
I think Spotify is great for a few reasons. First, I think it's a great music discovery tool for music consumers. Um, Personally, there's a lot of music that I would never listen to if it wasn't for Spotify, because I just wouldn't go out and buy like so many albums and music and like singles just to like get a taste of like a certain new artist. So I think it's really great for that. Another thing is I really think it opens up a completely new revenue stream for us because before all we could really do is hope that the consumers that wanted our music bought it. There was a lot of people that just didn't want to buy music, and Spotify is something that really takes away from that really helps people that were illegally downloading music download it and listen to it legally and actually provide us with some sort of income.
How has Spotify affected the publishing part of music?
Um, it's a relatively new service, so there hasn't been a lot of effects on the publishing side of the music industry that have been like quantified and like people know for sure. But I really think for now it is just a new revenue stream from these music consumers that previously just downloaded music illegally or just didn't buy it at all. Now they're actually able to listen to music for free or pay for the $5 or $10 plan and get unlimited music and discover new music they wouldn't have before. I haven't really been able to study the long-term effects, but I think it's positive because it allows more music discovery, so more exposure for our music, and hopefully we'll be able to get more fans through that and more actual purchases of, it doesn't have to be music itself. It can be like concert tours or merchandise and stuff like that. So I think it's positive for now. I don't really think it takes away a lot from, I think, music purchases in general, because if you studied like music sales in this year in the U.S., they've actually gone up from the last year, and there is no real noticeable decrease in sales. So I think it's a positive for now.
What do you see as some of the potential negatives that you've heard?
Well, there's the obvious one of that people aren't going to buy an album if they can just listen to it for free on Spotify. And a band that took a really big stance on this was Coldplay. They still have yet to release their music on Spotify, and their album came out about 3 weeks ago. And, that's just their belief. They think that if they have it for free on Spotify, people aren't going to buy it either digitally or in a physical release. So they just haven't put it on there. So that's one thing that could happen, but I don't think there's really a lot of substance to that argument, because there's albums like Drake or Lil Wayne or Jay-Z that like have released their albums and haven't really noticed any kind of decrease in sales. Their sales have actually been just as high. Lil Wayne's album, sold close to 1 million copies, and like that's unheard of in this music industry, and that's with it being on Spotify. So I don't think there's really a valid argument to say that it's going to decrease sales a lot.
We talked about it previously. What do you think some of the next steps for Spotify as a company that they're going to make in order to make the publishing world a little more happy when it comes to artists getting the money they deserve?
Well, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Spotify actually launched in Europe first, and then it came to the U.S. And what they do in Europe is they have listening limits per month that they haven't implemented yet in the U.S. So basically, there's going to be a monthly hourly limit on users. On if they reach a certain threshold, they're going to have to start paying for the service, or they won't be able to listen to like the service for a few days. So that's something they're going to do. So that's going to get a lot more subscribers, because people are going to want access to these 15 million songs that aren't anywhere else in one place. So it's very convenient for the consumer, and I think people are going to get used to that, and they're going to end up deciding to pay for the paid service because it's great value and lets them listen to anything they want. Besides that, I think it really just is going to be the more people that use Spotify and the more subscribers they have, the more royalties Spotify's going to be able to pay to the publishers. So I think the bigger it gets, the better it is for the music companies, because they're going to get more royalties paid towards them.
Where do you see music as a whole going in the next 5 years, and how do you see Spotify playing a role in that?
Well, there's been a really big transition to this whole cloud thing, which iTunes has been launching, and Google and Amazon has been doing it too. It's basically where everyone's music is just in a cloud. There is no separate separate digital copy on each person's computer. It's all just stored in the cloud, and I think that's really good for rights holders because it'll allow music companies to like control who listens to the music and make sure that they only listen to like a copy of the music that is like authorized to be played and like somebody actually purchased it. It's different from like somebody burning a CD or burning something and then like just giving it to their friend and then like their friend being able to like burn it again and then give it to someone else. That this way it's like all on one central server, so like the only way someone can access it is if they, you know, bought it through that system. So I think that's really good for rights holders to control, you know, the right, basically to make sure that it isn't I guess stolen as much and stuff like that. And a lot of these like streaming services and subscription services like are all kind of heading towards that, where you know there's basically pay $10 a month to get all the music you want. So I think a lot of it's moving towards that, and you know we've all seen the physical sales going to digital sales. Like that trend's been happening for a while, and I think it's just going to get more and more towards digital. But I think like people are always going to want like a physical copy of music just because it's like something they can hold. Like even now, like I never really grew up with LPs. Like my dad had some, but like I love buying like LPs of like my favorite artists, and like they usually sell for like twice as much. And like I don't usually always play them. Like I just like to have them and like have them in my room and like you know show that I'm a fan of this person and show this person my support. So I think there's a lot of different trends. I think there's a lot of opportunity. You know I don't think anything negative is really coming. I think it's just going to get better for our artists, and there's going to be more opportunities.
Lastly, could you touch upon music and how it's integrating with social networking sites and what your thoughts are on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, with Twitter and Facebook, like, it's very easy to see what your friends are listening to, and you know, like before, people would make a mixtape, and like give it to their friends, and like, you know, burn a CD and like give it to their friends. But now you can like easily like listen to something on Spotify and it's instantly like posted on your Facebook wall, and your friends can see what you're listening to, or you can share a playlist on Twitter or Facebook from Spotify or a lot of these services, and it just makes it a lot easier to share music with your friends and see what your friends are listening to, because like music is something that people like to experience together. Like people go to concerts together, you know, it's a very like, you know, it's an experience that you like to share with others. So I think the more social it gets, the better it is for fans to experience it with their friends. So I think it's a great change that's happening in the music industry, and it's only going to allow for like more music discovery and fans to like interact with the artists more and stuff like that. So I think it's a good trend.
Great. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah.